Welcome to episode 84 of the Two Rash Challenges podcast. I'm Dave Lewis. That's Eric Neal over there. What's up, brother? How you feeling?
It's been a long day today, but I'm happy to be here, talk some football.
Yeah, no, me too, man. This COVID thing is crazy. My son dressed himself this morning, and he put his underwear over his shorts.
Oh, beautiful.
I thought it might be a new look for some team in the Premier League. All right, so Eric, you've given me so much crap for not watching live games. You tell me, I shouldn't be shopping at Bed Bath Beyond with my fiance. I should be watching games live. I watched at least, I can't even count, 4 games live this weekend.
Nice.
Liverpool, Newcastle. I watched Wolves. I watched Chelsea. Everton, Spurs. It was crazy. I don't know where I got all this time. But I want to tell you something. I have a bone to pick with you, Eric Neal.
Okay.
I'm not sure I like watching live games while you're watching live games, especially Liverpool, because you text me with such negativity about Liverpool. I'm sitting there like, oh, this is great. Me and Eric can watch the games together. We can have a little dialogue. I just felt like my mood was just coming down and down and down. I mean, when Leeds scored to make it 1-0, I didn't like you. I didn't want to hear from you.
I love it.
Yeah, no, I didn't love it. So I got
maybe just skip the Liverpool games. Other games, it doesn't really matter.
No, I think you're right. All right. I want you on tape delay. That's how old I am, tape delay, whatever that means. All right, let's go. I want to go over my notes from this game. I knew it was going to be high scoring, the way Leeds plays with under their coach. I thought maybe 3-2 Liverpool. I thought 3-1 maybe, something like that. But 4-3 Liverpool wins. And look, they deserve to win, I think, overall. But, boy, there are a lot of problems with Liverpool. Let me go over my notes. First of all, Liverpool did have 21 shots. And I think Leeds are going to have that problem all year. They're going to give up a lot of shots. But the thing is, they're going to score a lot of goals. They only had 6 shots, 3 on target, and all 3 of their goals they scored. So that were on target. So, look, it was a wide-open game. Leeds really spread Liverpool's defense out. They looked a little confused. It was a little weird. Gomez and Van Dijk had these huge gaps and allowed the Leeds players to just go in those gaps, and it was bad. I mean, Trent Alexander-Arnold on Jack Harrison's goal. By the way, that guy Jack Harrison, pretty good. He used to play at New York City FC in MLS, which is shocking. He's on Man City's books. But he turned Trent Alexander-Arnold around left and right. I think the ball went through Gomez's legs at one point, and Jack Harrison scores. You texted me that Trent Alexander-Arnold is not a defender, and I'm starting to believe you are right. He should be a winger. He should be more. Yeah, just put him up, closer to the other end.
Incredible player. I'm not. It really wasn't. Look, everything feels like a crack against Liverpool when I'm texting you because usually. 90% of the time is, but that wasn't even any sort of criticism. He's really just not a defender.
No. But
if you look at like Aaron Wan-Bissaka, right?
Yeah. Can't
cross to save his life, really, but defends like a monster. So if you're thinking pure right back, like that, that's what you're looking for. That's just not what he is. But up till this point, it's where you really haven't needed him. You guys have had Robertson, who actually is a defender.
A better defender,
but can cross just as well as Alexander-Arnold. So the thing is, you've been able to just not really worry about it because everything's been so solid. But, yeah. I mean –
is that the modern right back, left back these days that people like him as like just it's a glorified winger position? I don't like that. I want my guys to defend in the back and be able to push up enough. And look, Trent Alexander-Arnold might develop into a decent defender, but I'm not sure about that.
It depends if you're playing that like 3-5-2,
yeah,
then you're not really a defender. You're out there to delay and stop crosses coming in. It's not that big a responsibility. But if you're playing a 4-3-3, your right back has to defend.
I agree. So anyway, I mean, look, Alexander-Arnold, I love his right foot. I love his crossing. I bet you'd be a decent finisher even. So he's got great elements to his game. Just he's called a defender, and when one of your weaknesses is defending, it's kind of a problem. But hopefully look, we saw some of that last year and the year before. It's not like something new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The problem is when you have Van Dijk making mistakes like he did. I don't know why he didn't head the ball back to Allison. Instead, he did a casual kind of clearance that led to one of Leeds' goals. So Van Dijk makes a mistake, and he's made a few in the last 3 to 4 months. Last year wasn't impeccable. He was really good. He's still the best defender in the world, but and then if he's not playing well, Gomez doesn't look as good. So suddenly that back line looks a little shaky, and Leeds really exposed them. So let me just go over a couple of my notes before you go to your negativity. Firmino looks pretty unconfident at home. The guy can't score at home. There's something about him. I know you're going to lump me in with all the other Liverpool fans here. There's something about Firmino. You said it today, get him out, and they should have brought Werner in. But Firmino is still solid. He's still a good player. He's not a classic number 9. He's not a striker. I don't know what he is, but in Klopp's 3, he's really important, but he looked tired. Henderson, player of the year, looked really tired. And I'm still not convinced about Keita. I'm just not. So for a team that won 99 points, I sound like they're going to get 50 points, but this game just was rough. Jack Harrison, I liked. He looked good for Leeds. Leeds looked good overall. Leeds was basically just getting rid of the midfield for Liverpool with their long passes. So they're just eliminating the midfield. So then it was putting so much pressure on the back line. I didn't like it. Mohamed Salah, 9 out of 10. You got to admit, right? 9 out of 10? Come on, Eric.
Okay, well, look.
No.
Are you going because of the hat trick, 9 out of 10?
No, he was dangerous. He was taking players on. He didn't do his classic always giving the ball away. No diving. Didn't give any the ball away. He passed to Mane, who didn't play as well as him.
Yeah. You know what? I'll give it.
Salah's goal. I think he had 2 penalties and that one goal. That one goal was a rocket.
Was ridiculous. He trapped it with the bottom of his foot and purposely tapped it up so it would go for the volley and just absolutely smoked it. Yeah. The goalie didn't even move until it was already past him. I mean, that was a really nice goal.
Penalty. No, Klopp went nuts. He thought he had a great game. Great game.
All right, I'll give you that.
This isn't the game to bash Salah. That's my notes. I feel like I've hit some of the points you might bring up, and I'm agreeing with you. Give me your thoughts, Eric, a little bit about this Liverpool. It's one game. It's one game.
Exactly. I'm not worried about Van Dijk.
Yeah.
It was casual because everything worked for you guys last year. Like every last thing. Like you would see those passes, those diagonal balls that Robertson and Alexander-Arnold would play. Yeah. They wouldn't even look. They would do no look, 50-yard diagonals right to someone's foot. And Van Dijk would have 2 people bearing down on him, and he would flick it off his heel over their heads and then casually pass it out. They were so confident, and everything just worked because they're very good. And when the confidence is flowing like that, it just seems like it snowballs and everything's good. It felt like they got themselves in a little bit of a game they weren't expecting. And I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting Leeds would try and beat Leeds. Yeah. But I didn't think it would work the way that it actually.
No, they were ahead. At one point they were ahead. They kept coming back.
And I think it's going down to just what I've been saying the whole time. I think the desire and that fire and that energy is just a tiny bit down. Now, Klopp's not going to let them completely just fuck off and not do anything.
He was really positive about the game. It wasn't Mourinho. It was Klopp positive after the game, and I like that about him. He wasn't bashing him in the press.
Okay, in the press, I guarantee you, at halftime, I guarantee you he was lighting their ass up, and I guarantee you in training after that, he's going to be like, "We can't fucking do that again. That was ridiculous." So, no, good credit to him for putting a nice face on it, but he couldn't have been happy with the energy level and the casualness of the things, because that's Van Dijk. I saw what he was trying to do.
Yeah, me too.
It wasn't a mistake as much as it just didn't go as the ball didn't go
come off. It didn't come off right. What he wanted to do.
But you look what he was doing with that over the shoulder kind of flick with the outside of the boot to the midfielder who's going to play it up, and it just didn't work. It went to.
Now my argument to you, Eric, is you're going to go. This is different. They're not as. This is the kind of result that was last year. You know what I'm saying? They didn't play that well. They got exposed, and they still won.
Right.
So, if they keep doing this.
No, then they're but my thought is this is a newly promoted team.
They're different, though. Something's different about this
If you
team.
play like that against Man City, you're going to lose 4-0.
Yeah.
It's not going to be – and so –
Well, 4-2 maybe.
Maybe. Look, I don't think this one game like it says anything like, oh, your whole season's going to be like this. But I am seeing the levels and just the only person who was out there like the same energy, the same everything as last season was Henderson. That's the only guy I saw.
I would say Salah. You got to put Salah in. He was
he
running
was
his socks off.
working hard, I guess, but it didn't look the same. Like
what has Salah ever done to you? Just a couple of dives and you're off. You don't like him. He has a great new haircut. Great haircut.
I gave you his 9 of 10. I gave that to you.
I didn't hear that.
I'm just saying I look at Chelsea. Like I was watching the pre-match and they were talking about all the additions and everything. We can talk about Chelsea later because I was not impressed, by the way.
Me neither.
But they were saying, look at Abraham now. Look where he is. He had like 17 goals or something last season. I mean, any other team, you're their guy. You're their starting guy. Except for the top 2-3 teams in the league. You get 17 goals in a season. You're penciled in like starter every week. But you look now, he's really third on the depth chart.
Not going to get much.
You got Werner in there, who they paid all the money for and looked, on it, like ready to go. Yeah. You've got Giroud, who is, I think, more reliable and better because Abraham is like all these other players that he plays with. So it's almost like, do you want to really put like 3 of the same kind of guy out there? Mm-hmm. But Giroud gives you that hold up the ball, bring people into the play, all of that. So really Abraham is stuck having to prove himself all over again and push and like kill every training session and try and make sure that he's getting a spot. So now you've got 3 strikers deep, all like.
And he's not a winger. He can't play on left and right.
No, but think about it. That you've got these guys now in training every day, like battling out, pushing each other. I want that playing time. I want that spot. It just elevates everything. Now you look at the midfield. Now all of a sudden you've got like Havertz, Conte, Kovacic.
Jorginho's still playing.
So again, every game, people battling it out. That's the reason you bring those players in, and you bring better players in because it, like Robbie Earl was saying, it elevates everybody. Because now all of a sudden, the guys that were the guys are not the guys anymore, and they're like, I want my spot back, and that makes the new guys like, look, I got to keep my spot, and that's the thing I think that is gonna.
But the problem is Timo Werner's not. I don't care what he does. He can have 3 bad games. Abraham's not getting in for him. Abraham might give him a rest, that kind of thing.
No, but look, I think Lampard's the kind of guy that would bench him for a game just to make a point and keep everyone fired up. All I'm saying is that I don't think that Liverpool is all of a sudden not going to be good anymore. I just think they're
just going to win this thing with less style. All right.
They should have done something to freshen it a little bit and push the boundaries.
Watching Werner today, and I guess in a weird way we're talking about Chelsea already. Watching Werner today, I was drooling. And I did get a pang of anger towards whoever, Liverpool owners, whoever. I want to hear one day why we didn't get him. He is fast. He's quick.
Right. It wasn't that much.
He's a finisher. He's a perfect Klopp player. Like perfect.
In this day and age, that's
– and cheap.
Yeah.
And cheap.
Yeah, it's crazy. So
I don't understand it.
I'm not beating up on Liverpool. They, like you said, they didn't play well and they still won. So,
well, I got to admit, I didn't waste my time with your club watching Newcastle. It was one of the games I watched live. It was entertaining. Your new signing was great. Callum Wilson
all the new signings were great.
All your signings were good. Look, you weren't playing a great club. But that had to make you feel good, man.
Look, I gotta say, and look, normally this is the time of the show where we would go to our man on the streets of Newcastle.
Where is he? Where's Wellesley?
Our man is not in the streets of Newcastle. Our man is hugging the porcelain god right now. He's been food poisoned.
I didn't do it.
He tried to take out Wellesley.
I didn't do it.
I don't know, like, the legal ramifications of this. But I'm going to say it this way.
Yeah.
He attended with a mate of his, American burger chain that has a location there, in town. The way I describe this place is that they're good burgers.
Yeah, they're good burgers and fries. Yeah,
they're about 2.5 times as expensive as they should be.
Yeah.
So you think, like, you build your thing. You say, well, I want 2 patties. I want some cheese. I need some pickles, some mustard, and some onions. And they're like $9.50. And you're like, well, shit, at least I get fries and a drink with that. And they're like, not so fast. And so then it's like another, $3.80 for fries. And you're like, damn, that's a lot for fries. And they're like, would you like Cajun seasoning? You're like, that sounds good. They're like, oh, now it's $4.50. And you're like, son of a bitch. And so if you go to this place, you got to think, I could go to like a lower level steakhouse.
Yeah.
And get like a decent steak and a salad for about the same amount of money as a burger.
You won't get sick. You won't get ill.
So he thinks that it was this place, but his mate didn't get sick. So poor Wellesley, but he's pretty sure. He said that his came out quick and that guy's took a lot longer. So he thinks he got the
old burger.
He got the raw beef on that one. So and the raw.
So we don't have Wellesley.
So we miss Wellesley, but he sent in because he did go out into town and he did talk to people. And so he gave me this report that I told him I would read for everybody.
Okay.
So he said everyone was amazed with the lineup, though no one could figure out what the formation was. This was one of the real funny things about it, because I looked at just, they come out with the lineup but doesn't have the positions on it.
Yeah.
And I look and I'm like, what is he playing? Because he had Callum Wilson and Andy Carroll together.
Yep.
And in my head, that's 4-4-2. And you watched that Mike Bassett England manager, right?
Yeah.
Didn't that like spoof movie or whatever? Beautiful movie. Like, I don't know how I hadn't seen it already, but funny as hell. But like when he's about to get fired from the England job, and he's like, "We're playing 4-4-2." I'm like, that's all I can think of is Brucey the Cabbage in the locker room just banging the wall, talking about going back to the 4-4-2. But then people were like, well, it's a 4-2-3-1, and Callum Wilson's one of the wingers. And I don't know if it ever was resolved. It looked like a 4-4-2 to me. It could have been a 4-2-3-1. Some people said a 4-3-3.
By the way, I think Andy Carroll is useless. Useless.
No, not at all. Useless. No, he's great. And he played 90 minutes, which has to be the first time since like NSYNC was in concert or something like that.
You know how many elbows this guy throws per game? I mean, that could have been a red card in the first minute.
When you jump in the air,
he's tall. It's his fault he's tall.
Yeah, it is. It's his. Look, he asked for it. He wanted to be born.
Remember tall. Peter Crouch, 6'7" Peter Crouch? He'd always just go up normally and he'd be on top of somebody's head and come down on their head. Yeah. Like, you're just 6'7".
Yeah, the big old chicken wings, man. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, that was funny because we were going around and around, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm thinking 4-4-2, but we'll never know probably.
Yeah.
So Lewis he said Lewis shown along with all the whole team, but the standout players Wilson and Hayden and Manquillo. Manquillo had a really, really good game at right back. DeAndre Yedlin, not even in the team. I think he's probably on his way to Turkey.
I thought he was gone. Yeah, I thought he was going to Turkey soon.
Yeah. The second half. So in the first half, I was kind of beaten up on Hendrick a little bit. Not bad, but just like he looked a little bit lost. There were some loose touches. The passes weren't kind of crisp or going where they were supposed to go. Second half completely turned it around. Had the assist on Callum Wilson's goal. You saw when Almiron came in, he looked like a man on fire.
Why didn't he start?
I don't know, man. You got all the new people, and the new people played well. So, but when he came in, it really helped seal the deal. He got the assist that went to Hendricks, and then had a chance himself on a breakaway. I thought he was going to score. Looked really good, but all of a sudden, you look at us, and it's not bad. We were absolutely out there. First opening match win since 2012. Then. Wellesley also
You've lost every game for the last 8 years, first match?
Yeah.
7 years, whatever that is?
It tells you everything you need to know. But then now Wellesley also wants to report that there's a legal battle now that Mike Ashley's hired this kick-ass law firm, the kind of people that Man City uses to squash, Champions
League bans,
those kind of people.
Yeah.
although they probably just have these people on retainer. We had to actually go to a law firm. But it's the same energy, same kind of guys. And he's suing the Premier League. And the funny thing is, everyone hates his guts, but everyone now is like, it's the most 2020 thing in the world that now we're all like backing Mike Ashley. Kick their ass. And so
I can see how you could get behind him on this. Like, yeah, man.
Look, it doesn't forgive the years of malfeasance and poor, ownership, but he spent money. He brought in proven Premier League players. And I got to give this to Bruce as well. These were not sexy signings. I mean, Jamal Lewis was kind of highly rated as a left back for Norwich, but not someone that, Man United or City or Liverpool were looking at. Hendricks was on a free from Burnley, not anything big. Callum Wilson, well respected, decent. Frazier on a free.
Frazier, yeah.
But they're proven Premier League solid players, and that's the kind of football that Bruce wants to play. And now all of a sudden, you give him a decent amount of players. We go from having injuries all over the place and being thin as hell and just a disaster to a bench where he has some stuff to choose from. And all of a sudden, it feels a hell of a lot better. Yeah. I don't understand this feeling.
Yeah, but you're one loss away from feeling bad again.
No, and I don't think we're like pushing for Europe. Mm-hmm. But I feel like that idea of starting the year with the dread that we're instantly in a relegation.
No, it might change. It might be different.
I don't see it. I don't really see it. I feel like it's going to be a season where I'll be able to tune in, and every few matches we'll have a good match and it'll be fun and enjoyable. And
to be honest with you, I thought this was going to be a win or a draw anyway for you guys. So you kind of did what I thought you were going to do. I thought. I don't know about you.
Everyone was picking West Ham. All of the.
But I thought you looked better than I thought you would. I thought you looked pretty good, and to have whenever you get a clean sheet, it just makes you feel so much better. And you had 2 goals, all your new sign. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better week for you. No, it was perfect. Yeah.
No, it really was. And my son Aiden watched the match with me. We had our matching Newcastle shirts on. He had a tournament over the weekend. Got a bunch of goals and an assist. Played well. I mean, it was a beautiful weekend. And then the work week started, and then I had an all-day meeting, and then my kids, and then I'm just.
No, that's symbolic. I think it's going to go downhill for you. Who do you have next weekend? Who do you have next weekend? Who does Newcastle play?
I didn't even know it's on Sunday. I haven't even looked.
Okay, I don't know. It's probably a loss. But
who do you know? You have Chelsea. That's why I know.
I'm really excited about that game. I hope Pulisic plays. All right. So you're in a good mood. I like that. We talked a little bit about Chelsea. I thought we just hit on a few other things we haven't hit on real quick. No Pulisic today. You and I are always bummed when he doesn't play. But it made sense, and I'm not mad at Fat Frank. I'm not super Fat Frank.
Yeah. I
think this is smart. He recovered from that hamstring too quickly, I think. They said he's been training like crazy the last few days. I worry about him rushing back. Absolutely. So I'm actually okay with him not playing today. Now, if he doesn't play next Sunday, I might be a little concerned. That's another 5 days of training. He should be okay, don't you think?
Here's my thing. I would not rush him back.
No.
Until he's 100%. I mean, okay.
110%.
I agree. You've got Liverpool, and they look a different team when he's in the team. Mm-hmm. Especially after that bland performance that they put in today. I mean, I know they ended up winning. Was it 3-1 or whatever?
3-1. Brighton had more of the possession.
Yeah, they just didn't look good. So they did what they should do. Quality overcame an inferior opponent. But Frank, with all these new signings, and it's supposed to be the most dynamic team, whatever, is not going to be excited with that performance. So right. I think with Pulisic pushing so hard to say, I'm fit, you got to play me, and for him knowing that he completely changes how that team looks, because he gets the ball out wide on that left side, and all of a sudden they got to put 2 guys on him.
And then you got Werner. So you put one guy on Werner, he's going to be passing it to Werner.
Oh, you kidding me? No. I mean, it's so if you're going to have a chance to beat Liverpool, which, I mean, their defense still worries me kind of, they're going to need that. They're going to need that person that can settle the back line. And so I could see him putting him in, but I would almost rather just sit him for another week.
Look, last time Pulisic played Liverpool, he dominated Liverpool. Remember that famous play? He was down the left-hand side. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Gomez, he slalomed his way through like 4 defenders, and then he scores.
Okay, Meg Gomez. Oh,
it was amazing. So, I mean, he made the best team in the world last year look silly. I mean, that's how good he is. The problem, injuries, man. If you told me, give me 2 weeks and he'll be 100%, that's fine. I don't want 95% next weekend. I don't want, because I know him. He tries too hard. He tries too hard.
Yeah.
He'll blow that hammy, man.
It's Frank's interview that has completely changed my mind. Now, see, I sent you that text earlier today. The man knows what he's talking about. I never doubted him. Like, we love our flip.
We love Frank.
Yeah, like
Pulisic's not here for 3 weeks, though. I hate Frank.
You know what, though? In that interview changed my mind.
I know.
For him to say he's an important part of what we're doing.
And he gave him the number 10 shirt.
Number 10. And he's like, he wanted it, and I was happy that he wanted it, and I gave it to him, and he knows the responsibility. Like, look, I'm good now. It's
a big deal getting that number 10 shirt. I mean, that's one of the most iconic numbers. Yeah.
That's saying you're our guy. You're the guy that makes things happen on our team.
Yeah. Incredible, man. Please stay. Now, here's the thing, man. I saw him on a video a couple weeks ago, and he took his shirt off. I'm more chiseled than him, man. I mean, he's got to put some weight on. I didn't see a lot of muscle in there, Eric. I didn't see a lot of muscle on that body, man. He's got to work out a little bit. The other game today I wanted to bring up was Wolves Sheffield United. Just real quick, Wolves are so fun to watch. I love their style. Their manager is not going to be there for long. This guy's so good. How is he still playing for Wolves? He's so good. I thought he was going to get transferred like for $70 million. That guy is so good. Anyway, Wolves, I think, are going to be in that top 6. Don't you think they'll be in that top 6 argument?
Okay, they don't have Europa League this year, right?
No.
So I think that's really going to help them. Last year they had a rough start. I think they could have possibly made top 4 last year if they didn't get.
They're as good as Arsenal. They're as good as Tottenham. We're better. They're as good. They're on like par with Leicester. So I could see them 5th or 6th, somewhere in that range, possibly. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the top 4 right now.
Yeah.
Arsenal, Leicester,
Newcastle.
It's a beautiful thing.
Let's go through some of the other Premier League stuff real quick, since we've been babbling on here.
No, just hold on just real quick. If I would have made a bet with you last spring, that will Newcastle United be in the top 4 at the end of any week during the Premier League season?
Interesting.
Would you have said, I'll take that bet?
Now you got me on that one.
I'm gonna enjoy this for the 1 week that it is. Although I looked up the match, we play Brighton, so not going to be an easy match.
No,
but winnable.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, let's get a couple matches down for you, and then we love to look at Newcastle's schedule and find where they're going to get points and stuff. I like doing that with you because it's hard to find points a lot.
No.
I watched the full game. I don't know why. Arsenal Fulham. Yeah, look, I always love Fulham because they always have a lot of Americans on there. Right now they have Tim Ream and that Anthony Robinson guy. Yeah. So a couple of Americans on the team. Tim Ream, he's getting old, but so it's full American. It's full America. I like them. I've always loved them. They look bad. They didn't look good.
What's a bummer is I feel like after that, they didn't have Mitro. Mitro came in at the end of the match for a little bit. He's got a bum hammy from the end of the season from before the playoff game where they got promotion. But so they're missing some of their firepower. But Ream was so at fault on that first goal, and I feel
good otherwise, like you said. I thought he was okay.
Took the wind out of your sails, and he played really well the rest of the match. Yeah. But that one, it's so frustrating. Like he gets back in, and you're like, this could be our guy. He could be starting next to Brooks on the national team. Like, we could totally be.
But isn't Ream like early 30s? He's up there.
Yeah, he's up there.
I
mean, look, Premier League experience, I mean, it goes a long way.
I would take Tim Ream over any center back we have now in the national team. He's fine.
Like, look, do you want Aaron Long or do you want Tim Ring? Now, look, nothing against Long,
Yeah.
but do you want someone that's going against Aubameyang and Werner and Salah every week? When you go to play these big countries, if you're in the World Cup, I'd rather have someone that has that experience than someone that's got MLS experience.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Couple of things for Arsenal. I don't know. Something like I told you, maybe it's in our preview bonus podcast, but Arsenal are better with Mikel Arteta. I think something's going on there. They still didn't make enough signings to push for the top 4, but they got a center back. That Gabriel guy looks pretty good, right?
Yeah.
I don't know who he's going to pair with, but that's better than what they had last year.
No, everybody's hurt now for them at center back. It's crazy.
So Gabriel's good. Willian was like the man of the match. He's still so good.
Isn't it incredible, though, what a good manager does?
It makes a difference.
No, it's
huge.
If you want to win things, you have to have a good manager. Like, you can't – I mean, I guess you could go to Ranieri and Leicester and kind of say that was a fluke in some sort of way. It was weird. It was a down year for the big teams. It was all this –
but he wasn't as much as the Tinker Man. I feel like he did some things that he didn't usually do.
Right.
So everything just came together perfectly. Like,
but that's the anomaly. Everything else, where you look at the people who've won, they're all top managers. And it's not because they say, well, they just had the good teams. Rafa Benitez had the best players in the world at Real Madrid and didn't do anything. So, I mean, you have to – there's a talent to that. And I don't know. I think Arteta is becoming the beginnings of one of those guys. Like, he already has this band of misfits who, like, the same players were a shambles a year ago. And then you look now, and they're confident, and they expect to win things. It's crazy.
No, they look more organized. And I think that's the thing that a manager can do, get you more organized. I mean, under Emery and some other coaches at Arsenal after Wenger, who else is Wenger? Who came after Wenger? Was it Emery? And then I don't know who the coaches were. But my point is, Arteta's got them organized, and even if you don't have the talent, that can win you some games. I want to go to your favorite coach of all time, Jose Mourinho. Did you watch the Spurs-Everton game? I watched that live, too. I think I'm up to, like, 7 live games. I think I watched every game live.
So you beat me. My son had a tournament, his last tournament game of the weekend, and it was exactly the same time as Spurs, right? So I have the app, and on the Peacock app, like when I used to have NBC Sports Gold, I paid the cheap $40 a year instead of the $60 a year, so I could watch it live, but I couldn't watch replays. Right. But now with the Peacock app, which is like
watch replays,
I can watch replays. So I didn't look at my phone. My phone's blowing up. I'm getting like Twitter notifications. I'm getting texts. I avoid like the radio on Sirius XM because I know it's on there. I'm like, okay, I got it. I get home. I turn the TV on. I'm like, I look and it has the symbol for the game on the app. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch it. Got my beers. I'm ready to go. I hit it, and it was still live or something. That wasn't.
Oh yeah.
And it just said the score. I had the final on there, and I was like, fuck.
There goes your fun.
I was so annoyed. So I didn't watch it. I just watched, if you want to call it highlights.
So I'll give you, because I watched the game. I know you're saying it's just one game. I think you texted me all that. I don't know, man. This didn't look good. The body language of these players, and I'm no body language expert, but was not good. Dele Alli looks lost. That guy, probably he's still upset from Mourinho yelling at him at the during the documentary, saying he sucks in practice. He's lazy, but he looks lazy.
But he's not wrong though. Like I
agree.
Why does everybody think that there's going to?
No, I'm not mad at Jose. I think Dele Alli is too passive. So there are no Mourinho players on this team, at least the ones that are healthy. This is not a Mourinho team. So I'm not condemning Mourinho, but this is going to implode. And I don't know if I'd blame him this time. He didn't get any new players of value. He still wants – and Dembele, remember how he buried him? Now he's like, oh, I love him. The guy's probably so confused. He's like, I don't know what to do. Yeah. The back line isn't good. They got Eric Dyer playing center back. Son is still dangerous. But, again, I love Son, but he's not a Mourinho player quite either. And Kane looked frustrated.
I saw that one like poor decision that he made where if he would have just played Harry Kane goal, and
Kane looked annoyed.
Post. I mean, here's my thing. If it was a complete shambles, if they got beat 4-0 and
it should have been 3-0. Should have been 3-0.
Look,
I'm telling
you. They could have scored just from the highlights I saw 3 or 4 goals. It wasn't like they didn't have any chances.
They're going to score. With that front line, they're going to score. With Lucas Moura, Kane, Son, all those guys, they're going to score. They're going to have trouble in the back.
They gave up 1 goal, and James Rodriguez looked amazing.
Oh, he is smooth. Tell me, he must just have one good game, one bad one. Because this game, I was like, this guy's amazing. Yeah. Silky smooth.
Why is he not still at Real Madrid?
Every pass is perfect, so it's the Freddie Adu thing. He's doing something wrong in practice.
He wouldn't be getting the boot from everywhere.
I mean, you see the talent. He was like one of their best players. So Everton look tasty. They look good. I think Wellesley in our bonus podcast preview said that's his surprise team. I think I believe him. Believe him. They're good. I think they're going to be good. Any other notes from you want to talk about with the Premier League before we move on to the Lesser League?
No, I think we should move on to the Lesser League.
Okay, Lesser League real quick, and that would be the MLS. Our Columbus Crew. First of all, I want to go over, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, I said, I don't know where to find these games anymore. I don't know what time the games are. I thought it was a night game, but it was on at 3:30. And I was like, let me turn that on. I was like, where is the game? It said it was on Univision, which is like a Spanish language channel. I have Una something, but it wasn't Univision. I couldn't find the game, so I couldn't watch the game.
You had Unibrow?
It was Unibrow. I was so pissed off. And plus, it was during the Newcastle game, so I'd rather watch the Newcastle game. So I saw the highlights of the Crew game. They're down 2-0, and they came back to get a draw 2-2 against Chicago Fire, who are crap. So the good thing is they came back. Zardes got a goal in the 88th minute. That guy is so clutch.
Yeah, man.
So it's a draw on the road against Chicago. I guess that's all right. That's really all I got there. Wasn't that great?
Look where we're at. I mean, 11 matches.
Yep.
7 wins, 3 draws, and a loss.
No, it's a great record. It's a great record.
18 goals for, 4 against in 11 matches. I mean,
4 goals in 11 matches. That's why the Chicago game was weird that they scored 2 goals. But look, I'm gonna keep following this team. I'm gonna get excited. I just like to see a game on TV every once in a while.
Yeah, there's no excuse for you've got ESPN, the Ocho, you've got like a million Fox Sports channels. It's the local channel you could have put it on, like our channel 11 or something like I don't understand. How are we only getting it in? I have it on I recorded it because I couldn't find.
Oh, you have Univision?
I couldn't find my high def Univision though, and so I had low def, standard definition Univision in Spanish. I'm just like this.
Oh no, this is no good. No good. All right, I'm gonna run down some notes from around the world before we move on. Inter Miami got Higuain.
Yeah,
we wanted Higuain, and there was no chance we were getting him, but pretty good, right? I like it. Good signing. You think he'll be motivated?
Yeah.
Real quick, I watched Inter Miami the other day. They still don't have a shirt sponsor. Are you telling me David Beckham couldn't call up any of his 50 million people he works with and say, hey man, just throw me $3 million and I'll throw my watch company on there, or come on. What the?
He must have owned it, his own companies that he could put something.
Exactly, just put it on. There's nothing there.
I don't understand.
Tyler Adams, man of the match in a German Cup game. He had a 94% passing rate. Man of the match. They showed him with the man of the match, whatever that thing is.
Yeah.
The thing. But he played well. Weston McKennie, we heard rumors that he played in a little friendly and played well. He was sharp. That this guy is playing with Ronaldo. One of us is playing with Ronaldo. Pretty cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's going to play. Josh Sargent scored today in the German Cup. Gio Reyna scored in the German Cup. Americans are going crazy. This is awesome.
Yeah, last week, Sargent and Adams both won man of the match in the same day.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Sargent is leading the line. They've been what is he with? I'm forgetting. Werder Bremen? Right, Werder Bremen. There's the coach was saying, he's my guy. He's starting every game. I'm
Yeah.
like, what? He must
No,
be training really well.
I
Ah,
sent you that clip of the highlights of McKinney
yeah.
in that match. You watch
Yeah.
that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He looked good.
He didn't look just like, okay, like he held his own. He was dominating that midfield.
You and I get excited with American players in Europe when they just do a nice back pass or a 4-yard pass. We're like, oh, that was good. That was good.
Yeah. I'm always looking at like you had him like, please get a good cross in or something. No, he was in there dominating. I really think he may not start like every match right away, but I think by the end of the season he's going to be an every match player.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at what he offers, he's going to allow those other flair people. He's going to be what Matuidi was supposed to be, that Matuidi was like 3-4 years ago. And he's only going to get better playing with these guys. But I mean, I don't know who they were playing. Maybe they were playing like a U14 team or something. But he looked ridiculously good.
I don't care, man. I'm just so excited. I'm going to watch Juventus this weekend. It's going to be Chelsea, Liverpool. I'm going to watch a Juventus game. Forget the crew. If I find them, I find them. Who cares? All right, man. That was a good rundown. You got anything else to add?
No, man. Do we have any Fudos?
Yeah. I mean, the Ryan Brewster one was a bad one. I said last week that you kept saying Harry Wilson was. You kept saying Wilson was on Bournemouth, and I was like, wait a minute, you're getting confused with loan players from Liverpool. And I said, nah, he's on Swansea. It wound up being Ryan Brewster was on Swansea, so I totally messed that one up.
You got it by the end of the show, though.
I know I said that, but that I just want to own up to that I do know my Liverpool players. I just got my Wilsons mixed up and my Brewsters. There's Punky Brewster. I don't know what I was thinking, but thank you for forgiving me. Thank you.
No, it was fine.
All right, Eric, it's time to get off my lawn. I'm going to do some MLS bashing. I just need to. MLS needs to get off my lawn for this whole playoff structure that they have now. So it's such a wacky season. There's 14 teams in the East and 12 in the West. Bonus ask you anything. How many playoff teams are there in the East? Out of 14 teams, how many of them get into the playoffs, Eric Neal?
8.
10. 10 out of 14. That is absurd. You're going to have the crappiest teams get into the playoffs. So 7 through 10 have to do the play-in game, but it's still considered playoffs. So 1 through 6 get the bye. 7 through 10 do the play-in. That's absurd. Why don't you just take all 14 teams and just let them all play? Like 1 plays 14, 2 plays 13. Just do it that way. So this is bogus. Now, how many teams in the West get in out of 12? What would you say?
Well, wouldn't
your
it have
math.
to be the same number? Wouldn't it have to be 10?
No, it's 8.
Wait, what?
So there's 14 teams and 10 get in on the East, 12 teams and 8 get in. So the difference is 4. I don't know. How do they come up with this? How do they come up with this?
So it's so MLS, though.
So
They just made
18
up
out of 26 teams get into the tournament.
Why did LA Galaxy always have like 9 designated players? Because they would go, well, they're using, we created a new thing called TAM money, and then
There's something new. There's GAM, TAM, and I think there's this new thing coming out called YAM. I shit you not. It's something about youth players, and you can use some money to if they're under 23. There's so many rules in MLS.
Yeah.
You can't keep up with this. So you know
rules
what?
are, if you're one of the big teams and you want another designated player, they create a new way for you to do it.
Well, Inter Miami's that way. They already have 3. But Tweedy is not even a TP. Did you know that? He's not. So they have Pizarro. They're going to have Higuain and some other guy. Then Matuidi's not. And then next year they'll make him a DP. Like, it's so bogus. It's so bogus. Anyway, MLS, this week at least, get off my lawn.
Yeah, I could live with that. All right, my Gomel this week goes to Seattle Sounder Nation. So I hit you with a text earlier today. It was like, oh God, I've been in this like day-long running battle with all of these dipshits from Seattle in there.
You really made friends again just now.
Oh, I know, right? So this guy, I can't even really say his name, but it's Ari Lujanwall, maybe? So he's at ARILIJENWALL. And he's a write and edit for at MLS and at Sounders FC.
Okay.
So he said, and this wasn't directed towards me. This was just something that I saw and noticed out there. Jordan Morris has 5 goals and 6 assists in 779 minutes for the U.S. men's national team last year. Christian Pulisic of Chelsea had 5 goals and 3 assists in 762 minutes. And Weston McKennie, now of Juventus, had 5 goals and 2 assists in 948 minutes. You can Google these things before you tweet your red-hot narratives. It's all publicly accessible information. All right. That's fine. But I said Morris won't make the bench at the next World Cup. And yes, you can absolutely say he shouldn't be a starter because he plays in MLS, especially because it was a choice, not because he couldn't do better. I thought that would be like pretty much the end of it. But no, that just got people fired up. So Aaron Bean jumped in. Landon Donovan would like a word. And so I said, fair point, although we didn't have anywhere near as many players getting opportunities in high-quality leagues around the world when he was playing. So it was a little bit different then.
Good point, Eric. Good point.
And then he said, what strikers who are playing abroad would you put above Morris? Seems most, aside from Sargent, aren't getting regular minutes. Morris is fit and in form. League be damned. Would you leave Altidore off the squad too?
He's not a striker, by the way, Jordan Morris.
For this argument, they've got him as a striker.
Okay. Right.
I think of him more as a winger myself. But
me too.
So I said, if we're going off form in MLS, Zardes has to start ahead of both of them. Because he's got 8 goals on the season. So if we're purely going off the, MLS on fire, then Zardes has to be our starter. But I said it is a fair point that we are weak at striker in the pool.
Yes.
He said, none of what you wrote makes any bit of sense. Apply this logic to any other job on the planet. Heck, even apply it to team rankings. There are standouts in various leagues, and people choose to ply their trade wherever for a whole host of reasons. I said, okay, Morris is a talented student at a prestigious culinary school. He's offered to work under a renowned chef in France, decides to stay home and work in an ordinary restaurant. Does well there. U.S. is looking for a team to compete against the best chefs in the world. He would get chosen.
You really thought that through.
I just came up with it. I thought it was really good. People went nuts. So it was funny. They said, I suspect that you never looked at the biographies of the chefs who competed in the Culinary Olympics. I think you'll find that working and training in the U.S. does not disqualify them from competition. I don't know a fucking thing about cooking.
You're not up on your culinary.
It was just a fucking goof. I was just saying, in general, if you got an opportunity to push yourself far, people weren't having it. He said, weird. I personally know a team of U.S. chefs that won a world competition. They have not spent any time working overseas. Oh, my God.
How does this guy know it? How does he know that?
I don't know about the chefs. He just said apply it to any other field. I just picked a field. Look, you guys are probably right. The Pacific Northwest is known for their food and chefs and ingredients. And
I'd rather be in Paris.
I spent a year in Seattle. It's fine. The point is, he's a person that chose to stay home and hang out with his dog and his dad. And he likes Seattle, and cool. That's fine. But I think that if we're ever going to compete on the world stage, then you would want people who are pushing themselves. We've covered this a million times. And playing at the highest level possible. This went on and on. You would not even believe it. He said, this analogy has issues. I'm tired from grading this as a teacher, so I'm not going to pick it apart. Bottom line, if you're the best attacker in your domestic league, which Morris arguably is, you deserve a spot with your national team, whether you shoot your shot in Belgium, Holland, Germany or not. No, that's not it. First of all, he's not even the best striker in MLS.
In Belgium? The league's not very good there, by the way.
He's not even the best striker in MLS. So I don't think that just because you're the best striker in a shitty domestic league that you automatically get to be on the national team. Why would that make any sense? MLS is not even the best league in the shit region that's just CONCACAF, which is the weakest region in the entire world. And we're not even the best league in that region. So why would dominating that league as a striker make you a shoo-in for the national team? Anyway, it went on and on. Someone did a funny thing with our page for the website where it says 2 Rash Challenges podcast, the podcast nobody asked for. And he put a cute little, the opinions nobody asked for over it. It was pretty, I thought that was fun.
That's not bad.
No, that was great. They went on and on about the different things. And someone this guy, Mark Castor, made a really funny one. He said, "Are you saying Jordan Morris wouldn't be good on guys' grocery games?" Which I thought that was actually funny. So I went on and on about it. We were laughing. He was like, "Who else would you replace him with?" I said, Gio Reyna. And then they were saying, "Well, he's a 17-year-old. Well, how are you going to just send him to him?" Yeah, so was Pulisic.
So was Michael Owen. Michael Owen for England was young. Yeah. Wayne Rooney. Let's get past this age thing.
Yeah, if he's better than you and plays in a better league, guess what? He's starting over you. So
there's no comparison to Gio Reyna and Jordan Morris. I don't want to hear it.
No.
One year in Bundesliga equals maybe 7 years in MLS. I don't know, but no.
But obviously the Seattle people came to Jordan Morris's defense, and they think he is just a shoo-in for the men's national team because of his amazing form in MLS. And I say, get off my lawn.
All right, Eric. I got a Newcastle Ask Me Anything for you. And you seem like the guy I should ask.
I hope it's not.
I have a would you rather question. You ready for this? Okay.
I like those.
Would you rather get 48 points? This is you, Newcastle. All right. You finish in the top 10. You have Bruce until the end of the season, but Ashley indefinitely. You don't know when he's going. You don't know. Or Callum Wilson gets injured. Joelinton steps in. You have 15 points by December, but the takeover does happen, and you get rich oil money. So you have incredible season on the one hand. 48 points, which you would take in a minute.
48 points is not incredible.
All right, I'll give you 52. 52? Come on, I don't want to make this too unrealistic, okay? Right. So 52 points, you're in the top 10. You're like 8, 9, which is, you haven't been there forever. You have Bruce till the end of the season. You're not sure if Ashley's coming or going. You have no idea. He's there for the long haul, probably. You have no idea. Or the season just tanks till December. It's a mess. The oil money happens, and long term, you're in better position. So wouldn't you want that? Maybe? Possibly?
I mean, it feels like gut reaction. Just slam dunk, just take the oil money and run.
And you're going to have a miserable time the next couple months till Christmas. Like, it's just horrible. And it's probably, you could get relegated because the money hasn't come fast enough.
You're right. I mean, and look, you could fire Bruce at Christmas and bring a new manager in and spend $200 million in the January transfer window and still get relegated.
Yeah, I agree.
So you're playing with fire. I mean, I feel like, though, they would come straight back up because – I don't know if they even have financial fair play in the championship, but I imagine seeing Ronaldo and Messi on Newcastle in the championship would be with Pep as the manager. Everyone cashing giant checks every week would be. But
wouldn't it be nice to have a season under your belt right away?
No,
in the 50s, top 8. Come on, man! Like
my gut and my brain tell me like you go for the Saudi money no matter what. My heart tells me after watching the way we played. And again, look, it's one match. It's against West Ham, who I swear I'm positive they're going down. I know everyone's picking like West Brom and Fulham as the people, but it just has shambles written all over it. I mean, Moyes' tortured face on the sideline, and those players who are all like, there's some really good players in that squad, but just don't look like they could be fucking bothered. I'm not putting too much stock in it, but to see how organized we look, to see players that were excited to be coming to Newcastle. I mean, that's another thing. You could go out and get some mercenary and spend $100 million on a player, and he could Gareth Bale you and be fucking off,
Yeah.
signs up and laughing about playing golf. Like you never know. And so to see like some team camaraderie and organization and style and finishing and all, it was fun to watch and it felt good. And part of me is like, maybe just ride that out. Maybe have a good season. Like
That's a year of joy. Like you have a guaranteed year of 50, I'm saying all right, 52 points. That's like 13 wins and a bunch of draws.
that year we got 5th place with Pardue, which is why I never will let anybody slander Pardue.
I know, you love Pardue.
I stick up for him no matter what, because you do not fluke 5th place with Newcastle United. That is not a fluke. And we were in it till the last game of the season. But that was a joyous season. We were scoring goals. Ben Arfa, Cisse, Ba, like we were out there. I mean, Joey Barton nutting people left.
But you know what, Eric? You gotta go for the oil money. That's my opinion. Because you don't want Ashley doing this. It's feeling okay right now. Like, okay, we played well. We got new signings. Ashley, we're actually a little behind him because he might win this lawsuit and maybe he will be gone eventually. But we're behind Ashley a little.
I feel like someone. This is a joke going around that either the Weekend at Bernie's them, like where he's like not really there, they're just puppeting.
He died years ago.
Yeah. Or there's a clone of him, or someone like hacked his account, or what? Because for him to, on the heels of this failure of the takeover, I was convinced he was not spending one fucking penny, and we were going down. And all of a sudden, he's talking about upgrading the training facility. He took the players out to dinner. He went to the match. He's bought like a bunch of players that were actually decent. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? It's like so out of character for him.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
All right. I think you're torn.
No, I really, really am torn.
All right, ask me. What do you got for me?
So this is really like weighing on me a little bit, because we keep, as U.S. men's national team fans, talking about like qualifying for the World Cup, what's coming up. It's going to be a funky thing. We don't have the hex anymore. We've got the Oc, I think they're calling it, which I don't like at all. It's the octagon, man. But all the shit teams are going to play a mini tournament to get into the final 8. From there, I think it's like the 3 guaranteed qualifiers and a playoff one. Or
playoff, whatever. Yeah.
But do you think that we're going to get what we want, and all these new, young, exciting players are going to come in and help us qualify and go off to the World Cup? Or do you think we're going to get more of the same from Berhalter?
So Triple G.
Feeling about it, man. I got a funky feeling.
So let's look at like what makes sense from our standpoint. Sargent is the number 1 striker at a Bundesliga team. Number 1 right now. He's been given the shirt. You're our guy. He scored this weekend. Gio Reyna is going to be playing major. I mean, I think he's going to start most games for Borussia Dortmund. I think, if not all, I think. I mean, he's that good. So you got Gio Reyna. You got Weston McKennie, who's going to play some significant minutes at Juventus. These guys, you got Pulisic. I mean, we have enough European players to fill a squad. You got Stefan, who's going to be, looks like maybe he's going to be the backup at City. I mean, this is insane talent. Triple G's going to fuck it up. He's going to fuck it up because I don't care what you say, Jordan Morris is getting on that team.
Oh, yeah.
He likes him. He likes his speed. He likes whatever. He likes him. And he likes
Bastian Lletget.
Zardes will make it. So you're going to keep – we can go through a bunch of players. Suddenly you've come up with 10 MLS players. So what do we have, 23 on a squad, right? So suddenly you're down to 13 European players. I think it's going to be 50-50. And that's way too much. So I don't know who's going to be – is Timothy Weah going to make it? I don't know. I mean, he
ought to. He's back from a long injury, but again, playing in France, a proper league.
A much better league than MLS. Much better. So I think Triple G is going to screw this up. We're still going to qualify. We're still going to get through this. but you and I are going to be nervous all along the way. And we're going to get frustrated with Triple G. We're going to get annoyed. And he's going to win just enough to justify his dumb MLS selections.
Okay. So here's the follow-up to that.
Yeah.
Say we barely scrape by and qualify.
Yeah.
We go to Qatar and lose all 3 matches.
Right. We've said that's a possibility.
And does he keep his job, do you think?
No. That type of manager gets one cycle. One cycle, you're done. He's got to be done. I mean, U.S. soccer isn't that dumb. If they flame out in the World Cup, he's got to be gone. And there'll be a riot. You and I would be rioting in Chicago, man.
It should have been a riot. But we lost. Okay, we needed a draw against fucking Trinidad and Tobago. Now, look, I know it's a few years on, and the emotions are not.
It still hurts.
No, when I think about it, the blood pressure starts to go up. I get fucking off again. It is inexcusable.
Blame Arena. Bruce Arena.
All MLS players. There is no fucking reason we lose when all we need is a draw against Trinidad and Tobago. I don't even know where the fuck that is. I know the direction. I know it's out there in the Caribbean somewhere. But I mean, you could point, give me 5 clues, and I would never even be able to find
Jordan Morris would dominate their league, though, the Trinidad and Tobago Premier League.
I think he would, the Golden Boot. But no, but I have the same feeling you have. And in a way, I hate to say this because you're now taking a golden generation away from the experience, and it would be 2 in a row missed by Pulisic in the prime of his career. But I would almost take the would you rather not qualify and get rid of Berhalter and get the proper manager and reload for the one we're hosting.
Okay, Berhalter takes majority MLS players, 13 MLS and 10 European players. Okay, and would you rather him do well in the World Cup with that squad, 13 and 10, or he goes all European? Let's say he starts all 11 European, and then we don't make the World Cup. We don't qualify. I know that sounds absurd. Of course you want to qualify for the World Cup. But what if something like that happened?
The worst part is I want him gone so bad. Whatever scenario ends with Berhalter being gone, that's the one I want. I don't care what it is. I don't care what collateral damage is. I don't care what you have to burn down. It's
any chance he gets fired. What could happen before we even know if we've qualified? Let's say we lose 5 straight games and we're still alive, but barely. Do you fire Berhalter?
I mean, here's the thing. That's a really good question. When do they get twitchy enough?
Yeah.
That they go, holy crap.
Before Qatar.
But then who do you bring in?
I don't know.
I mean, I think they will go down with the ship with him. I think they will.
I think so too. I think they're in bed with them, and I don't know who they're all sleeping together. But all right, good stuff, man. All right, Eric, Bell and the Ward time. As you know, it's a pandemic. Have you heard?
I have.
You have, okay. So we don't want to, exchange saliva. We don't want to sneeze on anybody. We're very worried about this. We have masks. We've had 6 months of this. But it seems during the Paris Saint-Germain Marseille game, Angel Di Maria spat on Neymar during this big fight. So first, there's 2 things wrong. There's nothing more demeaning than getting spat on. Would you agree? I'd rather get cursed at. Yeah. I'd rather get punched almost.
No, that's a guaranteed fight. If you spit on another man, it's a fight.
So Di Maria spat on. I'm sorry, I'm getting it wrong. My apologies. Angel Di Maria did not spit on Neymar. They're on the same team.
Okay.
This is a Fudo. I'm a little tired. I apologize, everybody. Di Maria spat on somebody on Marseille.
Okay.
Neymar got a red card for something else. Yeah, I don't know.
5 red cards in that match.
There were 5 red cards.
They finished 9v8.
I just want to clear this up. Angel Di Maria did not spit on his own teammate. It was on a guy from Marseille. So that's disgusting, first of all. So demeaning. Not very smart in a pandemic. So I'm telling Di Maria to get off my lawn, but He's my Ballon d'Or winner, and he should get off my lawn for spinning as well. He should have spat on Neymar. Maybe that would have been better. But he is my Ballon d'Or winner for breaking all the rules of the pandemic, putting the poor Marseille player into danger. He wasn't wearing a mask. And PSG has 2 straight losses in the Farmers League. What the hell's going on with PSG? So, you know what? Angel Di Maria, you're my Ballon d'Or winner.
Unbelievable.
I think I was drunk for that Ballon. I think I was drunk.
Drunk
Officially.
Yeah. All right. So my Ballon d'Or this week goes to an organization that we were just speaking about. It's U.S. Soccer.
Yes.
So I'm looking at my my Twitter feed, and Haley O'Shaughnessy tweets out, Rose Lavelle did not split Dutch defenders like lost children and finish with her left foot for you to put cutie on the girls' gear. I'm like, what is this? And so I look. U.S. Soccer tweets out, new styles available. Shop today. I'm like, okay, cool. New style. Let's check it out. They've got a line of T-shirts for the women that say U.S. Soccer Cutie on them. What the fuck is wrong with these people? They just can't. It feels intentional at this point. Like you've got the lawsuit. They don't want to pay them the same amount of money. And I've heard people twist themselves into a fucking pretzel like many times trying to say why you shouldn't just pay them the same amount. Yeah. Well, they actually get more of this or that or whatever. Look, here's what it is. It's not very much money. You make it the same exact amount of money. Whatever that is. It's very simple. Right. Because that shows the respect for we're all doing the same job representing our country and we all want to be treated the same. They're better. We've talked about it ad nauseum. They win things actually.
They have sponsors.
All of our good women for some reason have left and gone to England, which is really cool because you're able to see them on like Manchester City. Soccer. Alex Morgan signed for Spurs.
Yeah.
And I mean, just beautiful thing. Cutie on there, like it's just like, oh, we're gonna put some pom poms on, and run out there. It's just demeaning. It's just stupid, and I hope it is intentional because if you're that fucking tone deaf after they've been suing you for equality for years, that you're gonna put that kind of thing out there, then I can't help you. I can figure out how to get rid of someone who's mean and ignorant, but if you're that dumb, there's no help for you. So. For being complete assholes, U.S. Soccer, you are my Ballon d'Or winners. All right, it's this time for this week's Twitter shout-outs. Andrew Wells, our friend, our compatriot, feel better, son. There's nothing.
Take a finger down.
There's nothing worse than the food poisoning, brother.
It's bad.
We hope you're back. I appreciate you. Like getting it together enough to type up your notes for me to even be able to read your report. So get well soon. We want to thank at Real USMNT. They're always tweeting out, retweeting the episodes for us. The Shoot the Defense podcast, they're at Shoot the Defense. The Ball Chat podcast, they're at Ball Chat 1. And the Bryant and Me podcast, they're at Bryant and Me. We want to thank all of you guys for all the retweets. We really appreciate it. A couple things that stood out that were funny. I do have to say real quickly, Thomas from Bryant and Me is irritated. He did a poll about what do you prefer, like pod platforms or YouTube for your podcasts? And most people, including myself, picked the pod.
Yeah.
And I said, why not both? And he's like, because I don't like when they go, oh, well, if you were viewing this on the YouTube channel, you'd see blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, that's what we do.
That's exactly what we do.
Yeah, and we're going to do it right now. So guess what? If you were watching this on the YouTube channel, you would get to see this beautiful tweet that I'm about to read. So Amaka, who's at AMAKAOKOLIDD, this was in reference to that Bitterman, Jurgen Klopp, who was complaining about how Chelsea was buying all of these players. And
Lampard didn't like that.
Yeah, so Fabinho, 39 million pounds. Naby Keita, 48 million pounds, also paid none to close undisclosed premium. Virgil van Dijk, 75 million pounds. Salah, 42 million euros. Alisson, 75 million euros. Firmino, 29 million pounds. Klopp equals hypocrite. I had to get one dig in. I was nice to you this week. I had to have at least one.
All right.
VR put out these shirts, the new Inter Milan shirts. Amazing. I would buy any one of these three. I mean, just absolutely incredible. I mean, the Italians in fashion, it's like peanut butter and jelly. It just goes together. But
Did you see Manchester United's third kit? Horrendous. Horrendous.
No, please. I mean, they're hung up here in the tweet. Like it could be the Louvre in Paris. I mean, it's works of art. Beautiful. Keith Nass, a big local Crew person here, says Columbus Crew has given up less goals in the entire 10-game regular season than LAFC has given up per game. In the 2020 season, LAFC has more defenders and goalkeepers on the MLS Team of the Week than Columbus had. Great job. How is that possible? We've given up to the 10th game, we've given up fewer goals than they averaged per match.
That's incredible.
They had more defenders and goalkeepers than the Team of the Week.
Wow.
Why do they hate us? I don't know.
They hate us.
All right. So then you've got here at Messi FC 10i. There's a card here where you've got Thiago Alcantara and Jordan Henderson's player cards. And they've got Jordan Henderson is 86 and Thiago is 85. And it's beautiful because he says, this is a crime, man. You just can't do this. So I'm with you. That is pure like ridiculousness. And the last one, this is why you need the YouTube channel, because it won't do any justice for me reading it to you.
Okay.
You can look it up. You go to Footy Humor. They're at Footy Humor. It says, why does Luka Modric look like he has just given birth to Sergio Ramos's baby? And you've got Luka Modric laying on a trading table or something, but he's got this weird little towel over his chest. And then you've got Sergio Ramos. He's leaned in. He's got no shirt on. And they're sitting there, and it looks exactly like right when you have the baby and they lay on your chest. It's absolutely golden.
Who's cutting the umbilical cord out of those two? I don't know.
Oh, Ramos would bite it. He's that kind of guy.
Suarez.
Nasty. All right, so that's all I got this week. Look, you'll have to bear with us this week. We were stumbling, mumbling, fumbling.
Yeah.
But, you know, we did our best.
Yeah, we did our best. I think this show was 8 hours. I think Eric talked for 6 of them. But it's always good to see you, my friend. Rest those tonsils. You've been talking a lot, and I'll talk to you next week.
All right, man.
That's our show for this week. Please check us out on Twitter at @rash_podcast, on Facebook at 2 Rash Challenges, or email us at 2rashchallenges@gmail.com. Also check out our website, 2rashchallenges.com, where you can find articles, videos, and photos. And if you like the show, tell a friend, and make sure you go to iTunes and give us a review. We'd really appreciate it. Until next time, for Eric, our producer and engineer Ezra Jack Lewis, our main man on the streets Andrew Wells, and myself, we say cheers.